everyone, I am Dinesh Chauhan from Gurukul Kurukshetra. Today we will discuss about the first chapter of civics, the Indian Constitution. What is Constitution? A written document in which we find such rules is called a constitution. In other words, we can say in large societies in which different communities of people live together, the rules are formulated through consensus is usually available in written form. That's why we can say a written document in which we find such rules is called a constitution. Why does a democratic country need a constitution? A constitution helps serves as a set of rules and principles that all persons in a country can agree upon as the basis of the way in which they want the country to be governed. The constitution helps to protect us against certain decisions that we might take that could have an adverse effect on the larger principles that the country believes in. Constitution ensures that a dominant group does not use its power against other less powerful people or groups. The Constitution often lays down rules that guard against this misuse of authority by our political leaders. It means Constitution restrict or check the power of elected representative. Now question is, what would happen if there were no restriction on the power of elected representative? If there were no restrictions on the power of elected representatives, the leaders might misuse the power given to them. Misuse of authority can result in gross injustice, and thus in democratic societies, the constitution often lay down rules that guard against this misuse of authority by our political leaders. Now, next topic is how Constitution of India is formed. The long experience of authoritarian under the rule of colonial state convinced Indians that free India should be a democracy in which everyone should be treated equally and be allowed to participate in government. This was done not by one person but by a group of around 300 people who became members of the Constituent Assembly in 1946 and who meet periodically for the next 3 years to write India's constitution. The president of Constituent Assembly was Dr. Rajendra Prasad and the chairman of drafting committee was Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar. Between December 1946 and November 1949, the Constituent Assembly drafted a constitution for independent India. It was adopted by Constituent Assembly of India on 26 November 1949 and became effective on 26 January 1950. Now next, the key features of the Indian Constitution. The key features of Indian Constitution are federalism, parliamentary form of government, separation of powers, fundamental rights, and secularism. Firstly, we will discuss about the federalism. Federalism refers to the existence of more than one level of government in the country. It ensures national unity and at the same time allows individually progress. In India, we have government at the center and as well as at the states. The Panchayati Raj at the village level is the third tier of the government. Now, parliamentary form of government. The different tiers of government are run by the representatives who are elected by the people. It also guarantees universal adult suffrage for all citizens. Separation of powers. According to the Constitution, there are three organs of government. These are the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. The legislature refers to our elected representatives. The executive is a smaller group of people who are responsible for implementing laws and running the government. And the judiciary refers to the system of courts in this country. Now, secularism, a state which does not officially support any religion, is called a secular state. The Indian Constitution emphasizes on secularism. All religions are to be treated equally. Next, the fundamental rights are a set of rights that the Constitution offers to all citizens of the country. These rights are important to protect the citizen against arbitrary and absolute use of power by the state. These rights give every citizen of the country the right to be considered as an equal irrespective of their caste, religion or community, so that everyone gets equal educational opportunities. The fundamental rights in the Indian Constitution include right to equality. All persons are equal before the law. This means that all persons shall be equally protected by the law of the country. It also states that no citizens can be discriminated against on the basis of their religion, caste or sex. Right to freedom. This includes the right to freedom of speech and expression, the right to form association, the right to move freely and reside in any part of the country, and the right to practice any profession, occupation or business. Right against exploitation. The Constitution prohibits human trafficking, forced labor and employment of children under 14 years of age. Right to freedom of religion means every person has the right to practice, profess and propagate the religion of their choice. The cultural and educational rights. The Constitution states that all minorities, religious or linguistic, can set up their own educational institutions in order to develop their own culture. Right to constitutional remedies. This allows citizens to move the court if they believe that any of their fundamental rights have been violated by the state. I hope you understand the content clearly. Thank you and have a nice day.